This honestly might be the best wireless guitar system for you. Xvive, who's well known for their U2 and A58 wireless guitar systems, just released the P58, which I think is exactly what the average gig and guitar player has been wanting from them for a while. Obviously, we know that the U2 and A58 wireless systems are really good and very affordable, but they are missing a couple features that you see from the big name brand wireless guitar companies, but no longer with the P58. They've really answered the market. Now you have a pedal board tuner plus wireless system all in one. All right, let's take a closer look and unbox what we got. Obviously, beautiful packaging here from Xvive. When we slide it out of the box, we get our A58 transmitter, the brand new tuner pedal receiver as well, which we'll dive into a bit later. And then obviously in this box, we get some very important power supply and manual and whatnot. So we get this cable that allows us to charge our transmitter, and we can actually do that by just hooking into the back of the pedal here. See if I can get it to focus. Yeah, we just plug right in here and we can charge at any moment, have this ready to go, or you could have a couple of these ready to rock and roll at all times. And then of course right here we have our power supply. And then furthermore, we have our full-on power supply if we need that, if we don't have another form of power. All right, let's set it up and we're gonna test out how everything works. My biggest thing is I want to see how good this tuner is, because to me, the tuner on a product like this is what it's kind of the make or break part of it. I already know Xvive makes incredible wireless systems, and I know the wireless is going to have no problem being a fantastic wireless, but I want to make sure that tuner is actually able to replace a high quality tuner that's on your pedal board, right? One thing I want to add that I'm so glad they add this on, I've actually seen some very high-end wireless systems like that that don't have this feature, which blows my mind. And it still has an input right here. So if you don't want to use your wireless, you can just plug right in and you're good to go. So if your wireless ever dies or fails, you are ready to just plug right in and go and still use it as a tuner and a mute on your pedal board. All right, so I'm turning the A58 on for the first time. Let me see if it just instantly syncs. I think it does. It's on channel 1. We'll see if we get a signal. Oh, the tuner. Actually, let me grab the camera real quick. It might be a little shaky, but I want to show you what it looks like because that's very important. All right, here's what the tuner looks like in real time. Obviously, I need to do a little bit of tuning. Looks great. All right, so I'm going to tune up, experience how well and smooth the tuner is. Like I said, I think this is the most important aspect because obviously we know the wireless is going to be fantastic. So how good is the tuner, though? Does it actually replace high-end tuner pedals? There we go. Just like that, plugged in, tuned up, sounds awesome, works no problem. The tuner was fantastic. It gives you a very confident, locked in tune feel, which I really love. And the lights are very easy to follow, and I can promise on a bright stage you'll have no problem seeing these lights, which is very important. All right, let's go through some more of the technical specs of the P58. All All right, so it's a 5.8, I think gigahertz is the proper term, wireless system. 24-bit, 48 kilohertz audio. The transmitter battery life is up to 5 hours. So if you're doing a 4-hour show, you're probably good to go, but also you can easily charge it up mid-set with the charger cable right into the pedal, and it will charge it up in between sets and whatnot if you ever run into that problem. But I think it's a pretty great battery life. I played quite a few shows with the A58 and had no problems with just one charge, had absolutely no problems. So the charge is really good on this. 6 wireless channels, 110 dB dynamic range, 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz frequency response, and the wireless signal can be used up to 100 feet, obviously depending on the circumstances. I did a test on the A58, and it's pretty fantastic. Now, if you're like walking in and out of different rooms and buildings, and you know, obviously that affects the wireless, but if you have a very clear path to your wireless signal, you'll get up to 100 feet, which is great and very usable for most gigging environments. There's some form of a buffered bypass and true bypass switch. I'm not going to really dive into that. I'm not really sure what that means, but I guess there's a way to bypass. There's an internal buffer of some sort. Maybe that's applying to if you just plug the guitar, like a guitar cable into it and just use it as a pedal. I'm not fully sure about that, but apparently you can switch between a buffered bypass or a true bypass. And one thing about the pedal, I think most of you guys are going to have a question about is how durable and high quality is it? And I'll tell you what, there's some natural weight to this. It is obviously built with a really, really high quality material. The button is very, very solid and smooth. It's actually, you can hear it. It's a very, very smooth, easy button. It feels very sturdy and high quality. The whole pedal all around just feels great. The tuner's great. The wireless is great. It's very, very simple though. Oh, here's the bypass switch. So on the side here, we get the true bypass buffer thing, which right now it's on buffer. So you can switch that and see if that affects your sound for different things. But also what I love about it, for a wireless tuner all-in-one device, it's quite small and compact. It's not massive. I think that's beautiful. Let me know down below what you think of the brand new Xvive P58 wireless system, and I'll see you next time.